studies on a formula only found in Preservision.
If it were my vision, I'd ask my doctor about preservation.
It's the most studied eye vitamin brand.
If it were my vision, I'd look into Preservision.
Only Preservision A-Reds 2 contains the exact nutrient formula recommended by the NEI to
I'm live for my
moderate to advanced AMD
cousin a little bit
I
down.
have a.
What's that?
It is my
Huh?
vision. So
What do you
my
mean?
plan includes Preservision.
Live in Whitey.
Oh, you're live. I thought you said I lied to my cousin.
better floor liner for your car. Target is even more superior to protect the inside and outside of your vehicle.
I
Come.
know everything.
It's an enhanced way to protect your car.
You want to see the everything.
That's the best way to
Hello,
secure
everything.
your family.
What a word.
But the most important things we're protecting are American jobs. WeatherTech, made right in America.
Only Dish has the Hopper, TV's most powerful DVR.
Look who's here!
It holds up to 2,000 hours, so you can store season after season of your favorite shows for as long as you need them.
You waited. I got all the seasons. No way.
Record up to 2,000 hours of the shows that bring you together with Dish, tuned in to you.
Being a patient with diabetes myself, I can say without question that the Dexcom system is the most powerful tool to help navigate diabetes better on a daily basis.
I love it. I just wear a little sensor and that's it. It's totally painless and private.
The Dexcom sends my glucose readings to my receiver every 5 minutes. I just pull it out of my pocket and look, and I don't have to prick my finger.
Dexcom puts you in control, not your diabetes.
So through Ancestry, I discovered my great aunt Ruth signed up as a nursing cadet for World War II when she was only 17.
Bring your family history to life like never before. Get started for free at Ancestry.com.
Priceline works with top hotels to save you up to 60%. These are all great. And when you get a big deal,
Hi, Aho Gaming.
big deal.
Substitute muna ako ngayon.
Every trip is a big deal.
Now is the time for a new bath from Bathfitter. Every Bathfitter bath is installed quickly, safely, and beautifully, with a lifetime warranty. Go from old to new, from worn to wow. The beautiful bath you've always wanted, done right, installed by one expert technician, all in one day. We've been creating moments like these for 35 years, and we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation today.
For all of us who weren't born yesterday, there's Consumer Cellular, where you get exceptional value like talk, text, and data for only $20 a month and connect to 99% of the U.S. population. Premium wireless for less. Switch today. Go online or find...
It's in our nature to make it come.
Their windshield got a chip. They drove to Safelite for a same-day repair. And with their insurance, it was no cost to them. That's service you can trust.
Christmas is my fave.
I was able to find everything on Overstock.
Look at these.
Free shipping on everything. This year, Overstock is your partner in cheer, making sure the most wonderful time of the year is the most wonderful yet. Overstock. Quality costs less.
August as a science advisor. He is not an epidemiologist, but he tweeted, "Masks work? Question mark? No." Saying that widespread use of masks is simply not supported by science. Now, the tweet, according to Twitter, violated the policy that prohibits sharing, quote, false and misleading information about COVID-19 that could lead to harm, according to a company spokesperson. That policy claims to ban statements that have been, quote, confirmed to be false or misleading by experts such as public health authorities. Dr. Atlas saying in an email, "I don't understand why the tweets were deleted," calling Twitter's actions censorship. He also said his tweet was intended to show that general population mask and mask mandates do not work. Now, you'll recall this conversation with Atlas previously in which he cited the World Health Organization's own recommendation on this subject.
Nobody gives, by the way, publicity to the WHO's recommendation, quote, "They do not recommend masks for the general public," unquote. Even in their updated note, if you bother to read their whole technical note, they say that. And they're talking about the only time you wear a mask is if you are at risk, high-risk group, in an area of widespread transmission of the disease.
Dr. Scott Atlas there. Now, late tonight, Martha, we learned that the Senate Judiciary Committee will try to prep subpoenas for big tech executives related to how social media firms are handling stories like the Hunter Biden story, for example. That will happen on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's also when the committee is expected to be considering the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett. Martha.
Lots going on. Kevin,
Yeah.
thank you very much. And the WHO also said you should wear a mask if you can't social distance. If you can't be further apart than 6 feet, that's when you need to put the mask on. That's what the CDC and the WHO had said throughout this whole thing. So anyway, that is the story of Monday night, October 19th, 2020. But as always, the story continues with lots of different opinions on both sides as we analyze what's going on in our world. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.
To the public, not everything a famous person does in the course of the day has news value. Some of the pictures in the laptop were sad and weird, of prurient interest only. We're not going to show the bad ones on this show. And by the way, if we're being honest, some of the exchanges between Hunter Biden and his father, and they're on there too, revealed that whatever you say about him, Joe Biden really loves his son, and they're touching. We want to be honest about that. But there's one very newsworthy series of emails, and they stuck out. They showed that as Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden tailored American foreign policy, our foreign policy, which Joe Biden does not own, in order to help his son's business interests. Biden intervened aggressively in the internal affairs of another sovereign nation, Ukraine, and his son got paid for that. By any measure, that is a real story. There's no spinning it. That's a story. But then, very quickly, something bigger than that happened, something far more dangerous to our country than anything the New York Post found on Hunter Biden's laptop. Here's what happened. The most powerful people in the world aligned to censor the news, to keep it from the population of the United States. Twitter prevented its users from sharing the story. So did Facebook. When Americans searched Google to read the New York Post story, many couldn't find it. So within hours, the promise of a free press, that's the basis of American democracy and has been for 250 years, just disappeared. One minute, we were America. The next minute, we were China. Horrifying. And perhaps most horrifying of all, our news media applauded it. The self-described guardians of the First Amendment cheered the destruction of the First Amendment. The New York Times actually ran an op-ed attacking the idea of free speech. Ideas that threaten the ruling class must be squelched, put down. That's their position. Every power center in America vehemently agreed with that. And most ominous of all, the U.S. intelligence community, the secretive federal agencies that have nearly unlimited power, joined in. Those agencies colluded with the news media to hide information from the American public weeks before a presidential election. On Saturday, USA Today kicked the first and most important question in journalism. Is the allegation true? Everything else flows from that. But USA Today didn't even ask the question. Nor did the newspaper explain how this Russian plot might have worked in Putin's hand-picked sleeper agents. Had he been lying in wait in a Delaware strip mall new batch of Russian spies, the media did miss a few obvious leads. For example, two people reporters forgot to call were Joe and Hunter Biden himself. And here's what happened next. Oh, it's a smear campaign right up your alley. I have no response, said Joe Biden. Biden didn't deny the story because he knows that laptop from the Delaware repair shop did in fact belong to his son, Hunter. And we know it too. We confirmed that conclusively last week. Everything we have learned since then, and there has been a lot that we've learned since then, bolsters Hunter Biden, period. It is not a Russian fabrication. So Bo Erickson of CBS asked a legitimate question. That very reason, within minutes, Democratic operatives, including many in the media, landed on him. The point of attacking a man who appears to be a fairly unconfirmed, highly dubious, what is learned by placing the work of denying them on Biden, end quote. Notice Greg Sargent doesn't explain what parts are unconfirmed or false. No part of the story, no email has been shown to be false. They're not even claiming it's false. Doesn't matter. Another Democratic operative called John Favreau called the New York Post story, Russian disinformation, and concluded Biden was too nice. Michael McFaul, he now works at Stanford. He used to work in the Obama administration for 5 years. Attacked Bo Erickson for, quote, discussing disinformation. You're not even allowed to discuss it. Then the actor of Alec Baldwin of this, quote, take the beat down, learn from it, and move on. What is this? It's happening in concert all at one time. What you're watching is the most powerful people in America aligning as one to hide legitimate information from the public. This is not the way our country used to operate. Are you terrified yet? You should be terrified because it worked. That's why they do it, because it works. Here are the questions reporters are asking Joe Biden now.
All right. Happy note to we got one vanilla, one chocolate, but I wanted to get what we call black and white, but we're going to move it. We're going to split it.
What flavor did you get? That was the question. This is a man who has relatively few opportunities to speak to CBS. That's the kind of question you'd better ask the Democratic nominee for president with fewer than 2, and gave his answer. One vanilla, one chocolate, in case you missed the answer. Another reporter had a follow-up. Listen to how that went. So the second the words FBI emerged, Joe Biden walks away. And yet that's not even the worst part of the clip you just saw. The worst part were the other journalists. They burst out laughing before they even hear the rest of the question. Protecting the powerful. No one thought to ask Biden why at the laptop is a Russian invention. There's a letter from Hunter Biden's lawyer asking for the laptop back. Is he part of the conspiracy too? We don't know. And we're not going to learn. Because Joe Biden has now gone into hiding until Thursday's debate. That means the media can continue to collude unimpeded with our spy agencies to lie to you. It's the Russians, because Russia, and repeat after us as we say this until you reflexively believe it, because Russia is the greatest threat we face.
We've got a person named Donald Trump who has been warned that he is receiving and is now regurgitating, repeating, and disseminating disinformation that he knows to be fabricated and supplied by a foreign intelligence service. And despite the warning, he's still doing it.
You have said this entire thing is so obviously a Russian plot. It is to me, and I was never even an ambassador to the Russian Federation. Tell me why it's so obviously a Russian plot to you.
Really basically functioning as a Russian asset by pushing Russian disinformation.
CNN reported on Friday the U.S. authorities are seeing if those emails we just talked about are connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort. Huh.
You know, at some point, you got to be honest and say, who cares what's on Hunter Biden's laptop? What you just saw is the real threat. The powerful, the most powerful in our country colluding to dismiss legitimate questions using a fake threat of Russian disinformation. That's scary. Rest assured, though, unnamed U.S. authorities are on the case, getting to the bottom of this Russian plot. There's no evidence of wrongdoing, of course, but they're still on the case. Who are these authorities exactly, and who are they working for? Well, on Saturday, Senator Chris Murphy, a sitting senator from Connecticut, let us know. Murphy is a Democrat. He sits on the Foreign Intelligence Committee. Here's what he wrote, quote, Joe Biden and all of us should be furious that media outlets are spreading what is very likely Russian propaganda. I've seen the intel. The mainstreaming of misinformation is Russia's 2020 goal, end quote. That's worse than anything Joe McCarthy of Wisconsin ever said, and dumber. I've seen the intel. Notice that Senator Murphy of Connecticut didn't tell us what the so-called intel said, much less show it to the rest of us so we can evaluate it for ourselves. Powerful people have seen the intel. You haven't. Maybe you're a Russian spy. You want to get accused of that? Of treason? I don't think so. So just take it on faith, pal. Adam Schiff is working that line for years now. This week he was back at it.
Well, we know that this whole smear on Joe Biden comes from the Kremlin, but clearly the origins of this whole smear are from the Kremlin, and the president is only too happy to have Kremlin help in trying to amplify it. I think we know who the driving force behind this smear has been all along, and it's been the president and the Kremlin. he's been the gift that doesn't stop giving for the Kremlin. And this particular smear, though, has also been acknowledged to come from the Kremlin. And there it is in the Oval Office, another wonderful propaganda coup for Vladimir Putin, seeing the President of the United States holding up a newspaper promoting Kremlin propaganda. It's really incredible.
It's really incredible, says Adam Schiff. Hard to believe he's still on television. Well, it is incredible. In fact, it's so incredible, it's not even true. This morning, the person who's in charge of gathering intelligence in this country, in charge of all the intel agencies, conceded that, in fact,
Hi, Ars Vlog.
is an utter crock. There is no evidence the Russians are
Substitute muna ako sa pinsan ko.
That's insane. Let me be clear.
Driving pa
The
yata siya.
intelligence community doesn't believe that because there's no intelligence that supports that. And we have shared no intelligence with Chairman Schiff or any other member of Congress that Hunter Biden's laptop is part of some Russian disinformation campaign. It's simply not true. There's no intelligence that supports that. Yeah, okay. We're not in the intelligence community, so we can't verify that. We can't tell you there's no evidence that supports it. And evidence, actual evidence, is what the rest of us make decisions based on. And there's no evidence. And by the way, once again, no one in Joe Biden's campaign...
Hello, mega shoutout everything. Driving pa yung pinsan ko, guys.
So which ones are false?
Yes, sis. Our vlogs. Yes, sisi. Driving pa siya. Galing pa siya trabaho. Thank you for coming, sisi.
And media hacks, and that's it. On Sunday, a Biden campaign surrogate called Jenna Arnold acknowledged that on this channel. Watch this.
Did anyone say these emails are
Substitute muna ako, sis.
I haven't heard anybody say that.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think anybody said they're
I don't think anybody is saying they're inauthentic. Well, okay. Then why don't you respond to them? But in fact, many are saying they're inauthentic. False claims of Russian interference in our democracy are now a well-established fact of American political life. Like fears about climate change,
Lapag lang ng link, sisi.
they're very useful to the people in charge because those fears can be leveraged to strip you instantly of your constitutional rights. And that's exactly what's going on now. Now, you know why they're doing it. For the next 2 weeks, the point is to defeat Donald Trump, and they may succeed in doing that. But for the rest of us who plan to stay in this country, the real worry is what happens after that. Miranda Devine is a columnist for the New York Post. We're glad to have her on for the fourth night in a row to assess the story. Miranda, thanks for coming on. So you saw Russian information. Tell us why that's not true. Marshal the evidence if you would.
Because we have Hunter Biden's laptop. It is his laptop. The emails on the laptop are the evidence. This is not emails have been contacted. They have said, yes, this is an email that I received. The MacBook repair shop guy has a signature from Hunter Biden, which matches other signatures of Hunter Biden on a work order that Hunter signed when he dropped off the laptop. The photographs, the evidence, it is all just speaks for itself. It is ridiculous. It is a fiction to insert somehow Russia into this story.
Well, let me ask you to pause there. What is that? I'm sorry, you work there. You work at the New York Post, and sitting members of Congress, House and Senate, office holders, are accusing you and your company is acting as tools for the Putin government. What's your reaction to that? How does that feel?
Well, just a kind of dismay. It's absurd. I mean, Adam Schiff is, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. He's supposed to be keeping America safe from overseas actors, and instead he's turning all the power of that committee onto journalists, onto a newspaper that is just trying to shine a light on what looks like wrongdoing by a man who is in 2 weeks perhaps going to be the president of the United States. And the rest of the media is colluding in that cover-up and pretending that this is Russian disinformation, a Russian hoax. It's a joke.
Yeah.
And no wonder Joe Biden feels that he doesn't have to answer anything. And no wonder, because he's asked questions about the flavor of his
Yeah, I'm gonna call that
instead of being asked, what does he say about
online
the
course
evidence, the
tomorrow.
emails that show
Okay,
that
what I
any
was thinking we should do
participant
tomorrow
in this
also
family in this
is
hash for
let's
influence.
get on YouTube,
It's a really good
find out the
Brandon
directions
Biden,
for
New York
hooking up
Post. Thanks
that
for coming on
check
tonight.
thing
Appreciate it.
to your phone,
It's already.
You got it all hooked up.
Glenn Greenwald is
Oh, okay,
the
good.
founder of
Okay.
The Intercept. We're happy to have
But
you on tonight. Glenn, thanks for coming on.
it's
I've
still
seen a
hung
fair
on
bit
there
of material
because
on this
they need
laptop,
the
and the response
verification.
by
It's
the media,
and the
and
status
particularly by
there
the
is
so-called intel community, strikes
very
me as much more threatening to America than anything on this laptop.
verification is in progress from the bank
Okay.
couldn't agree more.
What you do
until
is
21.
you just open your thing up.
It's already, darling, still there on verification in progress.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you know what I'm saying is just watch it every day. You'll see, because you know there's $100 in it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's like $100.40.
Ah,
that
you mean
they-
I'm gonna check the online?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I will do
Yeah,
it,
they'll give
darling.
you an idea, so then you'll know that they're progressing with it.
To support it. And what makes it so much worse is that the reason the Bidens aren't answering basic questions about this story, basic questions like, did Hunter Biden drop that laptop off at that repair shop? Are the emails authentic? Do you deny that they are? Do you claim any have been altered or any of them fabricated? Did you in fact meet with Burisma executives as these emails suggest? The reason that they don't answer any questions is because the media has signaled that they don't have to, that journalists will be attacked and vilified simply for asking.
What do you make of the role of the so-called intel community, unnamed sources from FBI or CIA?
Agent were never supposed to be directed domestically. That was the point of the NSA,
That's right.
CIA, and all of those intelligence communities. And what we've seen since 2016, going back to the 2016 campaign, is incessant involvement in U.S. domestic politics, working with journalists to disseminate information purely for partisan ends. You want to talk about things like violating norms and misconduct, but the much bigger point is the way that this information is being disseminated. It is a union of journalists who have decided that their only goal is to defend Joe Biden and elect him president of the United States, working with the CIA and the FBI and the NSA, not to manipulate our adversaries or our foreign governments, but to manipulate the American people for their own ends. It's been going on for 4 straight years now, and there's no sign of it stopping anytime soon.
It's terrifying, and I can't believe we're putting up with this. I can't believe the administration is putting up with this. They're supposed to be in charge of these agencies. We're going to have to live with the consequences of this for generations, and it's very upsetting. And I appreciate the clarity you have on this. Glenn Greenwald, thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.
We have new numbers tonight showing just how profound the economic effects of the coronavirus lockdowns have been. Brace yourself. Straight ahead.
You may know Mount Rushmore, but that's only the beginning of South Dakota's beauty. Mountain carvings and breathtaking landscapes are just some of what's waiting to be discovered. When the time is right for you, our great places are open for adventure. I'm Governor Christine O. Now more than ever, those great places can bring us together, and I can promise you it will be a vacation to remember. To learn how to explore South Dakota safely, visit our website.
My hands were just throbbing in pain each day when I saw Relief Factor advertised on TV. Although a little skeptical, I decided to try it, and I was absolutely astonished that within 3 days after I had been taking it, I didn't have the pain anymore. It was almost like I'd never had it.
When Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son owners of Relief Factor, asked me to endorse their 100% drug-free product, I absolutely couldn't say no. There are simply too many people like me who are struggling day after day, night after night with pain due to aging, exercise, or just everyday living. And of course, I only said yes because after years of my personal lower back pain, I am now pain-free. Chances are you can be in less or no pain too by ordering the 3-week quick start. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-500-8384.
Attention everyone on Medicare. Did you know that right now is the annual enrollment period for all Medicare recipients? Everyone on Medicare is encouraged to call 800-454-1178 now for your free, no obligation Medicare benefits review. Now is the time during the Medicare annual enrollment period to see if you are eligible to save money and get additional benefits at little to no additional cost. You don't get these savings or additional benefits automatically, so make sure you call now during the Medicare annual enrollment period to make sure you are getting all the benefits you deserve. If you're not sure you're on the best plan for you, just call the number on your screen now for your free, no obligation Medicare benefits review. Call before the December 7th deadline. You may be able to save money and receive additional benefits. You may also be eligible for a plan that includes additional benefits like home prescription delivery and expanded at-home telehealth visits. Just call 800-454-1178 now to find out if you're eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery.
So guys, thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Yung pinsan ko naman mamaya, guys. Bye, see you.
Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to see if you qualify for